What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Got a banging one today. Actually, we're just going to try to keep it short, sweet, and simple. Going to go over our 30-minute time frame, look at what occurred today as it was a grind up all day long. I took one trade the entire day and it was on the long side, so not a lot to discuss there. Before we get into it, guys, if you do not mind, please leave a like and leave a comment down below if there's anything you'd like me to leave or review. I do appreciate you guys coming out and watching these videos as I replay them myself, just to kind of give myself some insight on what I was, what I'm thinking, and kind of continue the habit of just looking at the chart every day, right? Your habits build who you are, right? So I want to make sure that I want to be an efficient trader, and I do that by every day looking at 30-minute time frame, daily, weekly, monthly time frame, just so I know what to look at and what is occurring in the market. So let's get into it, guys. I'm going to be going through it rather quick. Hopefully I can get this done in less than 10 minutes. Normally these videos take about 20. So right now we are looking at our 30-minute time frame. And we opened up today with a gap below the previous day's low. We have been over the past several days, one time framing up. We've been taking out previous daily highs. After yesterday's failure at an outside or inside day up with excess at the top, right? We had a failure of an inside day up, failed, came back in and chopped around. After that, sellers decided they wanted to start getting out of this market as we've been playing in this heavy resistance area between the 4150 and the 4200 level. This level is an area that I've been saying we need to find acceptance in or above before this market can really get some legs. And right now we are showing a lack of and so far a lack in ability to push higher with good volume. So by gapping below yesterday's low, we put the daily into a 3-day balance. And I'll show you that on the daily time frame here in just a second. But for now, we're going to mark on our 30-minute time frame here, the one that I primarily look at for my balance areas. As you can see, I have it labeled balance down here. Our balance low is now Monday's low. All right, that is now going to become our balance low. Monday's low is our balance low at 41.48. All right, so 41.48 is our balance low. And now I mark it on my 30-minute time frame chart. That way I can just quickly reference that it's there if we do get near it. So we're going to label this balance, 3-day balance low. So because we took out the previous day's low, we put this market back into a balance because we stopped taking out the previous time frame's high. And then we're going to use 41.94.75 Tuesday's high as our balance high. So 94.75 is our balance high. So what happens when we're in a balance? Well, you want to see how we react whenever we get to the either side, excuse me, either side of the balance, right? So if we get near our balance low, you want to see, do we get through our balance low and get some extension below it and find acceptance below the 41.48 level, basically the 41.50 level. If we get below that level, then this market could really start to roll over, as we would be trapping some longs up here, some long position. We'd be trapping buyers in this range, thinking, all right, maybe we can buy against Monday's low. And if we roll over through it, they would be getting stopped out, right? Same thing for the upside. We approach our balance high at 41.94.75, right? You want to see us push through that balance high. You want to see us move through that area to the upside. If not, if we can't get through it, this market will roll back over, right? So initially, 3-day balance, that's what it's looking like on our 30-minute time frame. Now let's get into our destinations and kind of just review what happened today really quickly. So A period, we opened up with a gap lower, right? We had lower value, gap lower, And all year long, gaps have not held. This is not a surprise that we filled the gap. It was an upside gap. And I remember in yesterday's video, I stated that this 10Y point of control would become a magnet area for for us to come back and do business in if we open up near the low or below the low of yesterday, right? So we got below yesterday's low, could not find extension or exception below that previous value's low, and the low of day, right? So because we opened up with a gap to the downside, we basically eliminated this afternoon pullback low. Also, if you didn't realize, I had a friend hopped on a game. Got to get that notification out of here. Shout out to all the gamers out there. Anyway, so because we opened below the low day and that afternoon pullback low, those destinations go away, right? There's nothing to lean against. So those destinations went away. After B period opened up and could not take A's low out, and we did not close below the open, we took out A's high, and once we did that, we created a small set of single prints. So a very small set of single prints here in B period that we created. After that, we continued to one time frame up and grind higher all day long. It was a grind your face off type of rally to the upside. And as we pushed through the previous day's low, right, which we got back in the previous day's range, your next upside destination was that 41.7525 area, right? So in C period, you could have bought on a pullback against B's low. And today, by the way, was one of the smallest ranges of the year. I believe Paul said it is the sixth smallest range of the year, but very low volume, sixth lowest volume as well. So nothing to ignore there. But in C period, you could have bought on this pullback against the set of single prints, right? And use B's low as your out. You wouldn't have been risking a whole lot because the range was very small today. But take a long there, and then you don't get out of this trade until you touch that 10Y point of control. So you get long 64, you get out 75, boom, you made 10 points, right? That's why you have these destinations marked on your chart, is because once we got to that area and above it, your next destination, your next visual destination to the upside was that highest accepted price at 84.50, right? So you take some off here, the point of control, rotate up higher, take some off at the 84.50 level. As a matter of fact, because I did not get involved in C period, I did not get involved in E period on that pullback, I did get involved in H period against a very small set of single prints that was created in F period. So when we pulled back in H period, back to that point of control, we had this very, very small set of single prints here. I'm kind of highlight that I bought against, right? As H pulled into it, we kind of ate away at that set of single prints, decreasing the size of it, which then later got filled late in the day. But that's neither here nor there. I did buy an H period on that pullback around 76, just above that 10Y point of control, and I had my target up here at 84.50. As a matter of fact, I had it right around 83. Even I wanted to kind of front run it just in case we pushed up near the value high of yesterday. K's high, let me get this back out so you guys can see what I'm talking about. K's high and M's high from previous day, 83 was my main target of M's high from the previous day. Kind of wanted to see how we reacted there. So I held this trade all the way through I period. And then in J, once we popped up through it, I got my position taken off because they hit me, right? I had a 5 lot on and made really good points on the day. Made about 20, I think it was like 28 points on the day, roughly in just one trade. So really, really good trade on my part by getting involved later in the day, not as early as I'd like to back here, but later in the day in H period on that pullback. Great buying opportunity, and happy I took that opportunity. And as you can see, we pushed up into that highest accepted price. Once we spiked above it, we started to get into this massive sell tail or excess from the previous day, right? And then we rolled over. K period rolled over, stopped the one time framing up, L period, and then M just liquidated back down near the lows, filling that set of single prints. So we go out with a double distribution day, with A's range being the lower distribution, and then from C's low all the way to the day's high as the upper distribution, right? So let's go ahead and mark these destinations right quick. And I know I'm at the 10-minute mark. I'm going to try to make this rather quick. I'm sorry. I've been trying to work on getting these videos quicker for you guys that are a little bit more time crunched. So we're marking our set of single prints right where they fill. So because this is a downside destination, they would fill here at 63.25. So single prints fill at 63.25. They start at C's low at 64.75. 64.75 is where they start. So whenever it's a downside destination, you look to fill it in. It's like an intraday gap. You want to see that gap fill, kind of like we gapped to the downside. Buyers wanted to see the gap fill back up, right? So it's an intraday gap whenever you have single prints on your 30-minute time frame. So single prints start here at 41.65, 64.75. Excuse me. Been a long day. Been a busy day for me. And then we have today's low of day down here at 57.75. Let's mark that, right? Because you want to have these destinations on your chart. That way you know where you're approaching and levels. Because I remember whenever I first started trading, I would wonder why we got to certain levels. And, you know, it would be nothing significant on like my 1-minute chart or my 5-minute chart, because that's all I looked at the time. And I did not know about things like single prints. I didn't have my, previous day's low marked. I didn't have things like a 10Y point of control marked because I didn't know about the profile. I didn't know things about highest accepted price. So whenever we pushed near it, I was like, why did we just sell off from that area, right? Because I'd be getting long with these guys and getting hurt when selling against that highest accepted price was the play. So that 10Y point of control goes away. That highest accepted price no longer exists. And then all we're left with is the high of day in J period at 87.50. Now keep in mind, we do kind of have excess towards the top of the high, right? High of day. We do have excess. It's not a large amount of excess, kind of like A period was, but we do have excess on the upside there. Excess meaning that we pushed up and then we really, it's just kind of like a sell tail, essentially is what I'm stating. We have a sell tail where J pushed up, spiked through that highest accepted price, and then we rolled over and never pushed back near the high. And because today was such a small range, it's pretty decent excess. So 3-day balance. If we open up in the upper distribution, you will look to take out today's high at 41.8750. If we rotate through that, our balance high at 41.9475, you'd look to take that out on the upside. As far as downside destinations go, if you open up in the upper distribution, you will look to backfill this set of single prints at 64.75, fill at 63.25, and then get our low day at 41.5775, and then 41.48 balance low is where you'll look to trade. If we open up below the set of single prints in the lower distribution, then those set of single prints no longer exist, right? Because they got filled. And then you would look to take out the day's low. If we can't take out the day's low, or if we do and don't get much for it, you would look to rotate back up near the high. Now let's go ahead and look at our larger time frames. We're just going to look at our daily. The weekly, still one time framing up. Nothing's changed there. Looking at our daily on the monthly, with our monthly destination, and you can kind of see how we're struggling up here in this 41.41 to 42.08 area, basically the 41.50 area to the 42.08.50 area, right? It's kind of like we did back here. We're struggling in that exact same spot. Is this a nuance that we're struggling up here? No, not a lot of volume, very low volume up here. As far as buy side goes, below average. Is this a sign that we're going to roll over? So far, sellers have taken the first step in the possibility of that happening by stopping the one-time framing, by putting us in a 3-day balance. So still keep my eye on this 4,200 area. Remember, if you are being long in this market of this area, do not hold for long, because just like they did in M period late in the day, try to show you real quick. Just like they did late in the day in M period, where they kind of pulled back there, pulled the rug from buyers up here, right? People were buying, buying, buying. They wanted to get paid. They didn't. And then as they got stopped out, this market liquidated. So keep that in mind. Do not hold on. Do not stay married to your positions. All right. So let's go into our daily. Let's adjust our daily balance here and then get you guys out of here. I do appreciate you guys sticking around. If you've made it this far, please leave a like down below, as I'm trying to speed run this information. All right, so we got the daily high here, 94.75, right? That's going to be our balance high, 94.75. Balance low is 48, all right? So 48 is our balance low. So 41, 48 is our balance low. So we are in a 3-day balance. That's what it's looking like. We are in a 3-day balance. That's super zoomed in for you guys, right? 3-day balance, chopping back and forth. Could you say it's a 4-day balance? Potentially, but I'm going to just say we're in a 3-day balance initially. Now, if we take out the balance low at 41.48 and do not get much below it, I may encompass this day as a full 5-day balance. But so far, 3-day balance, you want to look to see if we hold the balance low, and then rotate back near the highs. If we can't take it out, if we can't take out the highs, rotate back to the low and through it. So 3-day balance, weekly still one-time framing up. Next step for the sellers is to come out of balance to the downside, maybe revisit the 20-day moving average, which would be putting the weekly back into a balance. So that's the next step. For the next 2 steps for the sellers is to take the daily to one-time framing down, and then get the weekly to stop one-time framing up by taking out a previous weekly low. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that will be all I have for you. Stay strong out there. Use stops. I believe in you. If you don't believe in you, I do. I believe in me. Let's get it. See you in the next one.